Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We are so excited the red buds are blooming. We're outside cooking, which I love to do. We got a great show for you. We got all new shows coming up, and we're going to keep things going as they happen around the farm here. Whether we get some new animals, whether we're planting new crops, that's what we're going to show you. We're about a week behind. We're going to video the show, put it on air the next week, so we're going to have a lot of new shows coming up. Our brand new season. We've been looking so forward to spring. It's here. Up on this hillside here before long, I hope to have some sheep. We're going to be raising hair sheep shortly. You saw our visit last week. And just recently, we were visited by Matt Ellis from Woods Equipment. Now, my garden is getting bigger every year, and I love to get tips from folks. Whether it be simple, whether it be tough, a lot of you don't garden. If you want to start, we're going to have some tips for you. Everybody does their own thing, but Mr. Bobby Joe has had a lot of experience out there, and we're going to talk about planting potatoes and cabbage today. All right, today we have with us Matthew Ellis from Woods Equipment. You know what? Finally pulled you out of the turkey woods.
Yeah, it's been, spring's really busy for us at Woods and pretty busy for me in the woods too at times.
All right, now obviously it's garden time, and we are trying to put these shows on as soon as we video them so people can learn from what we're doing out here. You know, I've been gardening for years, but every year my garden gets bigger.
Right.
People are paying more attention to what they're putting in their bodies. I like to be as pesticide, herbicide free as I possibly can.
That's
Let's
right.
talk today. We're going to plant some potatoes. We got your dad out here. He's going to talk with us too.
Right.
We're going to put some cabbage out. You can do that early. And we're going to also talk about placement. We're going to talk about how wide your rows need to be. Now, how wide is this tiller?
This is a 52-inch tiller.
Gotcha.
We go anywhere from 44 inches up to 88 inches.
Gotcha.
Horsepower requirements on the tractor are from 20 horse up to 100 horsepower tractor.
Right. Now, once I put this thing in the ground, it was like Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, 5 years in a row.
Oh, it is. You know, when you take that walk behind tiller that beats you to death, and those tillers have their place.
They do.
You know, when we get this garden planted and you're down to 24-inch rows, then we're going to have that walk behind tiller that we're going to use. But to prepare the soil and get it ready to get a good seed bed, this tiller is, it takes the work out of it, and it puts a lot of enjoyment back into actual gardening.
Now, this is a reverse tiller, which means...
It is. We offer forward and reverse rotation. The reason we went with reverse rotation here, we're working on ground that's never been plowed. Not to say never been plowed, but it hasn't been plowed in several years. So we're breaking up a new area. With this reverse tine tiller, you don't have to make as many passes, and it's pulling against the tractor. So the tractor's helping till as well. With a forward rotation tiller, you have to go really slow because the tiller will actually push the tractor along. With this tiller's pulling against the tractor, so it's going in the ground. It's doing in one pass what a forward rotation tiller will do in 3 passes.
Now, even if you don't have a tiller like this, today's tips still...
Oh, that's right.
Even if you still got the handheld deal.
If you've got from this tiller down to a 6-inch tiller that you've purchased at your local feed store, these tips, these are stuff that you need to do to be productive. This garden's going to be a lot of work. It's a lot of enjoyment, but at the same time, we want to do everything we can to maximize the benefits, what you're going to get back out of this garden.
Now, a lot of people don't know that you can take a soil sample.
Correct.
Where do you take it?
You're going to take it to your county extension office.
And they're going to tell you?
They're going to send it to UK. They're going to send it back to you in a couple of days. They're going to tell you if your dirt needs more potassium, needs more lime, whatever your dirt is lacking, they'll tell you what you need to add to it to get the most production out of your garden.
Now, as you look at this, I'm kind of surprised out here. I got some pretty rocky soil, but that's some pretty good looking dirt. You can, a lot of times, get a feel just by looking at it. There's not a whole lot of clay in it.
And this has surprised me. Driving in here today, I thought, we're going to have a lot of rocks. And again, with this tiller, this is something, if you hit a rock, you can just go back, take the rock out of the field, and go right back tilling. But no, the soil looks great. The seed bed looks good. We just need to pull a few samples, put in a bag to drop off, and we're good to go.
Very good. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's start. Now, do I need to turn that up one more time, or is it good to go?
It looks pretty good to me. I think you've done a good job. You know, to be someone that, you act like you didn't know what you were doing at all, you've done a pretty good job.
My last name's Farmer.
That's true.
I must have some
I
stock
know.
in me.
Somewhere along the line, yeah, someone knew what they were doing.
I think this first row would probably be perfect for potatoes. What do you think?
It looks good to me.
Let's call in the senior, Mr. Ellis.
All right, sounds good. All right.
Bobby Joe Ellis, good to have you here on our little farm today. And do you actually claim that Matthew guy's your son?
Yeah, I have to.
You'll take him?
Yeah,
You have to?
Don't have a choice.
He seems like a pretty good guy. Don't tell him I said
Yeah.
that. You know what, today, more and more people, I think, are, and I had to work in the garden when I was a kid. I'm
Yeah.
sure you've done it all your
We
life.
all done
And I
that.
hated it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But what happens when you get older and you find yourself putting out a bigger garden every year?
Well, I believe you love it then.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
And you know what? At the end of the year, when you're canning your maize and canning your beans, or in late summer, there's something about going down there and popping the top on something you grew. You know where it came from. You know what it's got on it or in it.
And you know what you're drinking or what you're eating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's getting more and more popular. And today, I haven't done this in years because my garden wasn't big enough. But I'm gonna put some potatoes out.
Okay.
Now show me what you got here. What kind of
Well,
potatoes?
These potatoes, when you cut them, get ready to plant, you leave two eyes on each
eyes.
piece.
Gotcha.
This is an eye and this is one.
Mm-hmm.
You come fit that in, two for that one. And you put two of these pieces in each heel of potatoes.
Gotcha. Now, are these starter potatoes you bought, or is this just some?
Yeah, they're bought. We bought those at Southern States.
Okay.
And, a lot of times, if you keep your own, they will have such big sprouts on them that you can't get them planted.
Now I'm seeing about maybe 20, 30 potatoes in here. How big a row can you plant with this? Pretty good size.
These
row?
will be about 18 inches apart,
Okay.
and you've probably got enough here to make about a 30-foot row.
30-foot row.
Mhm.
And you grow a pretty good sized garden.
Yeah,
every
I've
year?
got a pretty good sized garden. Yeah,
What's
sure
your
do.
favorite thing to grow in your garden?
I'd say tomatoes.
Everybody loves tomatoes. What's your favorite kind of tomato? What do you like to grow?
Well, I guess your Roma tomato is a good juice tomato.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rutgers was a tomato that's been around all of my life, and I guess it's probably still the number one for making juice and
Good all-purpose tomato.
all-purpose
canning
tomato.
all.
It don't get real big, but it's a real good tomato.
Yeah.
They're
Well, there you
ready to
go.
go plant.
They're cut. Let's go plant some potatoes.
Okay.
All right, Bobby Joe, that looks like a nice row of potatoes. You know
Well-
what I'm doing here is we're acting like we have this TV show. We really don't.
Okay.
And so I have people come in, build hog pens. I have them come in and put a garden in. I shouldn't have told you that, but I'm getting things done.
But it's working.
I'm getting a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, it's working, so it don't matter.
Well, we're losing the old ways. I mean, most people know how to plant potatoes, but if you don't and you want to try it, it's pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You get you some starter potatoes.
Yeah,
cut
it's a
some-
little work, but it's.
So
get
two
the job
eyes.
When you plant these potatoes, you plant them with the skin up.
Skin up.
Yeah, and that way they're closer to the top of the ground when they sprout.
Gotcha. So about 18 inches apart.
Yeah, and that way they'll come up about a week quicker. Well, that's the end of the potato.
There you go. You know what? We'll finish that out with cabbages, won't we?
There you go.
Now there's your row of potatoes. All right, now how you finish this row up?
Just cover them lightly. They don't have to have a lot of dirt
Don't
on them.
have to do a whole lot of covering. Is that about right?
Right?
How long am I going to have to wait to get me some potatoes?
Oh, it's going to be quite a while. It'll probably be a couple weeks before they're up,
Yeah.
and it'll be. They won't be ready till 1st of August. You'll have to keep the bugs off of them, and you'll have to keep the weeds out of them.
Yeah.
That's going to be another problem.
And there's our row of potatoes. That doesn't take long.
No.
And you know what?
Got plenty of help.
Next thing you know, August's going to roll around. I'm going to think, man, that Bob Joe's a pretty cool dude. Typically on a average yield, what are you going to get out of there?
You should have 4 real good sized potatoes or 5 or 6 small ones.
It's a pretty good return on your investment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing I do have. I got some
Okay.
cabbage.
Okay.
Now, I may, you think I need to turn that over again, or you think she's
Well,
ready
it
to
wouldn't
roll?
hurt nothing.
I may make one more swipe through there.
Make you one more swipe down through
I
there.
like swiping with
Yeah,
that.
okay.
All right, I'll make one more swipe, then we'll get the cabbage
Yeah,
place up. All
okay.
right. Now, cabbage you can plant yourself. I planted some myself, or you can go to the store and buy them.
Right,
You go to Lowe's or
right. Or you can also
Walmart.
raise them in the greenhouse.
yeah. So nothing major fancy. Just put the dirt around them.
Right. As long as you get that cube covered up pretty good.
Then a little bit of water.
Yeah, I put a little water on them. And there you go.
And it's supposed to rain this next day. or
But
so.
if you wait on the rain didn't come, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And keep an eye on your stuff too. Make sure that it's not wilting. We got taters and cabbage.
Right.
I'm liking that right there. And I'll get some more cabbage and finish this roll on out. And then,
That would be a pretty good bunch.
thank you so much for your help today.
Yes, sir.
I certainly appreciate it, sir.
Yes, sir, and thank you.
Alrighty.
Uh-huh.
I know why you brought your dad out.
Yeah,
First of all, he's an expert,
that's right.
and then, but you knew you wouldn't have to work.
That's right. Yeah, you got those backwards. But you know, I would say I know most of what he knows. He won't tell me everything
I don't blame him.
because you know every day he'll come down and look at my garden, and then you know go home and look at his, and I'll ask him a question. He's like, "Oh, I thought I told you that," but he holds back just enough so
You
that
can't have a better looking garden than him.
That's right. You
That'd
know,
be wrong.
it's kind of like our bird dogs. You know, as long as his bird dog does a little better than mine, you know, we're good. So
I like him more and more.
that's right. That's right.
I understand his thinking. Well, you know what? It's so fulfilling
Right.
to get out here. I think too many times life has changed in our lifetime.
Right.
From a society where everybody had to work to put food on the table to people sometimes going and sitting in a little cubbyhole all day long.
Right.
If you came home out of your cubbyhole and looking on a computer all day, which a lot of us do,
Right.
you'll find something about working that earth, even if it's in an urban environment and you plant outside, you're doing something that at the end of the day, you have something
Yeah.
that's real.
And we don't have to think back too many generations. My father has an uncle, my great uncle. He's passed away now, but he had 11 children, and you know they fed 11 children off that farm.
Yes, small
You know,
farms.
that's right. That's right.
Well, you know what? Something we want to do is keep those old ways alive. We've done the hog killings, and I went and cured my own bacon in my own smokehouse with a buddy of mine.
Right.
The flavor of that was fantastic. There's no chemicals in it. I know exactly what I got going on. When you control your own environment down here, you know exactly what's going on. When you put them in a jar and you can them, and in wintertime, and your dad was talking about tomato juice, every day it's a reminder. Even when it's cold, dead of winter, when it's nasty outside, you're looking forward to that next year.
Right.
When you get that garden.
My wife's an accountant. She sat down, she's all about numbers. She sat down and figured out how many jars of tomato juice she would have to get her through the winter. So needless to say, we, you know, here it is, April 16th, we have a closet full of empty jars, you know, ready to be filled up again.
Wow, lycopenes.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. Dude, thanks so much.
Oh,
and we're
Tim,
going to be
enjoy
seeing
it.
a lot of you because, hey, we got a cedar sitting back here. We're
That's
going to have
right.
to put out some food plots. We're talking about a dove field.
That's right.
Which we're going to have to get ready here shortly.
Yeah, it's, I mean, that's just